Hey there, Andy.
Hey, Pippa.
It's right, it's me, Pippa Evans from Showstopper the Improvised Musical.
And I'm Andrew Pugsy, also from Showstopper the Improvised Musical, and this is the Showstopper podcast.
Oh, we love this podcast. It's where we get together fantastic people from the world of musical theatre, comedy, and all other manners of performance.
But wait a minute, Pippa. What is Showstopper?
What is Showstopper? That's such a great question. A Showstopper is a musical that is literally made up on the spot. How? What? Why? Exactly the questions an improviser would ask in the first scene of a musical. So we take 6 performers, put them on stage with a band and a director, and we create a musical from audience suggestions.
Yeah, lovely. So come and see us sometime.
Yeah, why not? Why don't you come and see us, I don't know, in the West End? Just search for us online.
Or on tour at a theatre near you.
Oh, lovely theatre near you. Showstoppers.org, is that our website?
Theshowstoppers.org,
There's
that's
a
the
the
one.
in there. I always forget the. And now we're very excited about today's episode.
Yeah, so we had a chat at the Museum of Comedy.
That's right.
With a couple of incredible guests.
A wonderful Mel Giedroyc and Gavin Spokes from Company.
That's right, in Company. Big revival of Company in the West End. I've seen the show. Have you seen the show, Pippa?
I've not yet seen the show.
Let's cut that out.
Let's cut that bit out. But I'm about to see the show very soon.
Amazing. They're absolutely incredible. The whole show is brilliant. You'll also know Mel from all of her TV work. She's super famous. Obviously, Great British Bake Off, all her stuff with Sue Perkins. You know who she is.
But what I think is amazing about Mel is that people don't realise she's actually also done a lot of theatre.
Yeah.
So it's really great to get to hear her side of that. And of course, Gavin Spokes been in thousands of shows.
So many things. Like recently in the West End, he was in Quiz, that show about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire scandal. He was amazing.
He was in the revival of Guys and Dolls.
He was so good at
He
that.
was so good at that.
Also in the room chatting with us was showstopper Lucy Trott.
Yes, indeed. And she knows Gavin from the old days, back at school. So it's a great time for them to reminisce together. And of course, on keys, our wonderful musical director, Duncan Walsh Atkins. Again, without a microphone.
As will become a running theme, perhaps, if you listen to this podcast regularly.
Maybe one episode for a sort of seasonal prize to our listeners will allow Duncan to speak.
A little treat.
But for now, here's a treat. Today's episode of the Showstopper podcast.
Let's find out who we've got in the room. So we've got Lucy Trott. Say hello, Lucy.
Hello, Lucy. We've got Andy Pugsley.
Yes, that's me. Hello, Andy. We've got Pippa Evans, you've already heard.
Oh, hello, it's me, Pippa Evans.
Hey.
We've got Gavin Spokes.
Hello, I'm Gavin Spokes.
And we've got Mel Giedroyc.
Well done.
Well done. I've still not said it back to her, ever. We've known each other for several months and
I
I've
know.
never said her last name.
Well, I have a confession.
Go on.
I did spend a lot of time on YouTube.
But how do
Have
you know which one's right? There are so many versions.
There's one that's one of those automated how to pronounce
Oh,
things.
right.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, Mel Giedroyc.
Right.
And then there's loads of
Royce.
comments kind of going, you're wrong, and here's a video to prove it. So,
That's actually a thing.
actually
There's videos of people doing that.
You used to be able to phone in the good old days. Sorry, I'm quite old. One of my kids said to me, what did you do before the internet? How did you find things out? And you used to be able, I remember my mum and dad doing this a lot. There was a thing called the Daily Telegraph Information Service. You could phone 24 hours and there'd be somebody on the other end and you could ask them anything.
Really?
Yeah. And they would presumably go away, I think, for a few minutes, look in their encyclopedias or whatever, and then come and then phone you back.
Do you know what the worst thing is?
Isn't that bizarre?
Just imagining that in my head, imagining it, they had a computer. So you rang them up and then they would Google it. But obviously that doesn't make sense because they wouldn't have existed. So I can't even
Encyclopedias.
imagine
It must have been like
people
Norris
not
McWhirter
using
or-
computers.
It's weird, but I wonder if it was all a bit right wing because it was the Daily Telegraph. If everything they came back with
Very
had
biased
yes,
information.
2 minutes in and we're
Yes.
straight into politics. Well done, Mel. Nice.
Well, steering us away from politics, maybe. Gavin and Mel, you're both in Company in the West End at the moment. It's an incredible show. You guys are amazing in it. What has it been like?
Oh, bless you. It's a buzz to be in it, Gavs, isn't it?
It is. We have
It's
a lot of fun.
extraordinary, yeah.
It's quite hard work, but well, you guys know about hard work, but it's tough because it's sometime, and then they've added in a load of dancing on top of the of that, and then you add in a little bit of comedy, and it's a tricky one, but we are loving it. It's a lovely
Yeah.
company.
It's an amazing
do you
gang.
feel that the pressure of that it being like it's a Sondheim and it's a major revival of a major
Hell yeah.
Sondheim? How did that feel to kind of enter that?
He
journey?
was there watching us for 4 days.
Wow.
How close was he watching?
Pretty close.
He was in the stalls.
Wow.
So slightly sort of
And
darkened.
in fact, our dress
stalls.
rehearsal, the first dress, which we were like, don't get him come to the first dress. And Marianne was like, no, don't worry, he won't come to the first dress. You walk out at the top of the show. I come through, shouldn't say, but there's an audience moment where we wander through. And the only person I could see in the audience was Stephen Sondheim. I was like, okay, he's in the 4th row. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah. It was
Do you think
quite.
you preferred to know, though, that he was there?
I didn't want him in the 4th row.
Yeah.
Back of the stalls, mid stalls would have been fine behind a computer, but no.
He was close. He was close. I lost about half a stone during that 4 days, just in sheer terror.
What did he say to you afterwards?
I was too nervous, and also I just thought, oh God, the last thing he wants is another person going up and saying, "Hi, Mr. Sondheim," you know. So I left it quite late. I was on the back foot, and I went up and said, "Oh, Mr. Sondheim, hello. My name's Mel Giedroyc, as you very, very well said. I play Sarah," and he said, "No, you don't." I said, I'm Mel Giedroyc, and I play. "No, you don't. No, you don't." And I said, I am. Have I told you this?
No.
I think it was a joke, or maybe it wasn't. And that was our only interaction.
Don't ever
Are
find
you joking?
out.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Well, because
he was
just thought
quite twinkly and jolly.
Wow, that's so
your
cryptic.
accent
It's quite
is very
cryptic.
good in the show. I did have to put my glasses on to check it was you.
Oh, no, but that's literally my only interaction with him.
Wow.
And then we tried to do a selfie with him, a group of us, and we said, quite, politely, we said, "Look, is it okay if we do it?" And he said, "Quickly. And we were gathering round. It takes a while to get into a selfie mode. Quickly. It's hilarious. You had quite a nice chat with him though, Gabs, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Gav won't say.
I
No.
won't say, no.
Gav won't say, but he was very, very complimentary about Gav and his voice.
Amazing.
Your voice does sound, having been a stalker of yours for 20 years, Gavin and I, we didn't even
Also
go to...
known as a friend.
Yeah. No, I just mean I've seen in the last sort of however many years I've seen you mostly at stage or in your vest or whatever.
He wears a vest.
Just the best.
Yeah,
Just the
wears a
best.
vest. Yeah.
I haven't seen you in quite a few shows. I think this show does particularly show off your
Doesn't it?
your smoothness of
It's
voice.
soulful.
It's only the song. It's just the song, isn't it?
No,
It's just the
no,
material you're
it's-
given with
it's
that.
just-
Gavin,
talent.
you're being given a compliment. Please
Yeah.
accept it.
I accept and move on. Thank you.
Very.
I mean, while we're speaking of Gavin, obviously you've done all kinds of amazing things on stage, including Nicey Johnson in Guys and Dolls. We all love that. But the most impressive performance of yours, Gavin, you may not remember this, but we've met about 10 years ago.
This is your life.
We haven't spoken to Gavin about this before the podcast, but
This is gold for
we
the
did
podcast.
a day's filming together for the Police Federation Bravery Awards.
that's
Oh my God, I completely remember you now.
Yeah.
Did I save you?
No.
Were you one of the-
saved. We were the two coppers.
Oh, you
and
were one
we-
of the coppers.
Oh,
Lovely.
Yeah.
What? So how does this work?
So this
police
is for
federation?
the.
This is absolutely mental.
Gavin is literally holding his
Yeah,
face in his hands.
I just put this together because I've seen you on stage loads and not kind of connected that until recently.
Well, you had to be in character as policeman.
Yeah, basically, we were a couple of coppers, and we were reenacting. Oh my God, this is hilarious. We were reenacting heroic things that some police officers have done in the
Yeah.
country for the National Police
Awards,
Federation Bravery
Was this on
Awards.
screen or?
Well,
Yeah,
it was
so,
for them, but I think they might have put it out on a documentary.
I think it's like at the ceremony when they introduced like the winners, then they showed like a video of like what had happened.
And we had to go to
lovely.
London docks to film the moment when we see the blokes in the water and we run along the
Like
edge.
Crime
and-
Watch.
Yeah, but all right, okay.
Yeah.
No,
all
I
right.
mean, in,
A reconstruction.
that's the
We had words and stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a corpse. But yeah, that's exactly. And then we had
And
to
they were drunk and they were in like got into difficulty in the water. So we as coppers like had to strip to our boxer shorts.
Lovely.
And jump
we jumped
in the
into-
water.
Yeah, and then we
Guys.
went to a tank,
Yeah.
a big fish tank, where they film loads of underwater stuff. And we were at. I mean, I was so
That's
cold.
hilarious.
Wow. So you've
That's
been in
so
your
good.
pants in water together.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, for
What
a whole
beautiful
day.
thing. For a whole day.
Yeah.
No break.
Why is the water cold then? You'd think if you're filming in a tank for any length of time. Was it the
I think
budget?
the tank was okay. It was when we were doing. We didn't actually get in the water in the docks, but we had to like climb out of the docks in
Yeah,
underwear
yeah.
and like they
Horrendous.
threw like buckets of water over us
God,
by the side
Andy,
of the dock. It was,
Oh my God, yeah, this is mental. But one weird thing on that was I remember turning up and there was a bloke who was playing one of the drunk people, and he was a right geezer.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like proper tasty, like, just start getting into acting. I think he thought he was going to be the next Ray Winston, this guy. And he goes, I had a look at the call sheet this morning. I'm thinking, he knows the lingo. And he said, I see Ian Virgo's on this job. And Ian Virgo's a friend of mine who happened to know the director and was asked to be an extra. And he said, I'll come and help you out for a day. And Ian Virgo's done loads and loads of films, loads of like Rise of the Foot Soldier and stuff like that.
I like his name.
Yeah. And
Good
anyway,
name.
so he was the fireman pulling us out of the water. But I remember watching it and seeing the guy pretending to be like half drowned, looking up and seeing Ian Virgo and getting so excited. He was like, and then went, as Ian was pulling him out of the water.
Oh, brilliant. But Mel, you've done, because some people won't know that you do musical theatre.
Dabbling.
Yeah. So you've done other shows as well.
Yeah.
And I was trying to remember the name of the show you did with Justin Edwards.
The worst show ever mounted.
Oh wow, this is a bold claim.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it really? Really
Oh,
awful?
lads. Justin Edwards still is in sort of some kind of post-traumatic. he can't laugh about it yet.
Really?
And it
Wow.
was about 5 years ago. He
Why
cannot
was it so bad?
laugh about it. It was a show. It was a musical. They did a workshop for it, and I went along to the workshop because a great friend of mine was in it, and I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. So it came to 2 years later. They said, "Oh, do you want to be in it?" I thought, "Oh, that sounds like fun." And Justin was up for it, and he's a good friend, and a couple of other people. So I just thought, well, it'd be a great larks. It was a musical about the beginnings of market research in Great Britain. It might well one day, you never know, it might well be resurrected and
It
become
sounds like something that gets shouted out in our show for us to do.
Yeah. So we had a 4-week run in Colchester at the Mercury, and then we went on to the Derby Playhouse.
When was this?
This was about 5 years ago. Oh no, maybe 6 years ago.
Both nice theatres.
Yeah, and we had a great.
What was it
cast.
called?
Opinion Makers. The Opinion Makers.
Great. I
Lads.
can't wait for the revival.
Yeah, wow.
Justin was reducing his part every night. So he'd literally just cut stuff. So you'd be on stage with him, and suddenly you'd be like in it
2
almost
songs later.
in another scene.
Was he
Because-
consciously doing that or just?
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was. No disrespect to the writers of it or anyone else, but it didn't quite work in the it was probably our fault, to be honest. There was a lot of laughter on stage. there were moments when nothing was sung or said because there was just wheezing.
Oh.
Best
on
feeling
stage.
in the world.
Sound familiar, Gavs?
Yeah. I have to say, if you were in the audience last night, I'm really sorry. But I've never, ever, ever gone like that, ever. I honestly thought I was going to pull it back quickly, but I could not.
What, you were corpsing? Or,
Yeah, there's a moment I take a plate off of Mel and she's got a load of brownies on it.
Oh, yes.
It goes across my body and I plonk it on a little coffee table next to me and we're all sat down and I take the plate across Rosalie, who plays Bobby, and Mel's on the other side of her. We're sort of sandwiching her. And as I took the plate, what happened, I think, was that it must have knocked the brownie that was in Mel's hand that she's taken off of said plate and knocked another couple of brownies into my lap. This I did not know had happened. So I put the plate down on my right, I turn back to my left, and Mel's head is literally in my crotch. And she's going, "Oh, chocolate, chocolate, chocolate," and then reached for the brownie that had placed itself on the end of my penis. At the end of the little zipper,
They're quite light-coloured trousers. if I
light-coloured
remember
trousers
rightly.
with a brownie sitting on the end of it.
Pretty
And
visible.
Oh dear.
she made the noise of, she went chocolate, 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 and she went, oh, like that. And absolutely gone. Gone.
That
Lads.
sounds special.
But it's quite a sort of, the show is quite choreographed. It's quite, you're in a sort of groove once you hit the stage, and you have to sort of kind of keep within your grooves. Do you know what I mean? So anything in that show, any tiny thing that kind of goes a bit off piste, you're absolutely rogered, basically. And the three of us lost it.
I'm just imagining Stephen Sondheim sitting in the fourth row as that happens.
No, you didn't. There was no brownie.
It wasn't you.
No, it wasn't.
So you have, I don't think it's given anything away to say you have an excellent fight scene in it. Do you do a sort of run before the show? How do you warm up for it?
Fight call.
Do you have a fight call?
Yeah, we have a call, a warm-up call every day, which is physical and vocal. So we do a bit of dancing, don't we?
Yeah.
A bit of stretching and dancing.
Yeah.
And then a bit of singing. And then Mel and I have to do our little fight call.
Yeah.
Do you have an audience for that, or is that private?
Grant.
Who's one of the covers,
Yeah.
who's also in the ensemble, and he's our little third eye.
He
What
watches.
happens in a fight call? You just run the whole fight?
You run the
Just
fight,
run it?
yes.
Yeah, sometimes you're lucky if the fight director said in their risk assessment, which they do for every show, they would go, you only need to do that bit and that bit. But ours, we have to do the whole bloody
Yeah, it's pretty involved.
And I'm not sure that's helpful because then you'd sort of muscle memory remember those bits really well.
We get it
Yeah.
wrong way more in the
Fight call.
than we do ever on
Fight call's
stage.
always a bit nerve-wracking.
Oh, interesting.
You
yeah.
overanalyze it and you kind of think, oh, hang on, what are you doing there? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Why did you
And
move
Mel's
your...
got most of the business, bless her. I mean, basically just throws me around.
Yeah, he's a very good faller. Oh, my days.
Do you think that comes back to your
Amazing.
days on One Man, Two Governors?
I think it goes back to days of being a really shit goalkeeper. When I was at school.
Is that what it is, Gav? Is that what it is?
No, I
I'm quite
don't know.
scared of falling. I don't like
I
it.
suppose if you played a lot of sport and rugby and stuff, you
Yeah.
don't really mind.
But it's
But
the
you
one,
still
yeah.
think you're 18 and you forget you're nearly 18 stone and no longer agile. So you just do it and then get up and go, oh, that didn't it?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I seem to remember you played a lot of cricket when
I did.
Do you
yeah.
still play?
A little bit.
Does that come in handy in the world of musical theatre?
It comes in handy when you meet other actors. Get
There's
asked
so
to play,
many
yeah.
cricketers,
Like
aren't
Sam
there?
Mendes. He's the one I got to tick off because he's a decent player.
He's a really good batsman, isn't he?
Her Ben, who's Mel's other half, he's a very, very decent cricketer as well.
He's a good bowler.
Yeah.
Except his shoulder's knackered.
Would you organise musical theatre cricket? Or
There's several teams in the West End.
Yeah.
There's
Really?
The Sergeant Men.
yeah.
still
There's
going?
Michael Simpkins' team, the
Baldwins.
the Baldwins. They're still going, I think. And then you've got the Society of London Theatres Cricket Club, which is usually a load of producers. So I tend not to
that
play
would be
in
a
that
dry.
game.
That would be dry, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, a few of them work for them, playing cricket with them. And then there's the stage. They're a good crowd. And then there's the Rosie Parkers, a team I play for, which is a load of people that were in a show together at Regent's Park.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Yeah.
you're pretty much always playing cricket.
I'd love that, but
It's
no,
a good
not-
sort of link, isn't it, between acting and cricket?
It's just social.
sweet.
It's just drinkers,
Yeah,
really.
it's the,
Cricket's
it's the,
about drinking.
It's, the
It's
chat,
not about
isn't
the
it?
game. Yeah.
it's the chat. It's the kind of
And playing with a load of actors is fun.
Yeah.
And if everybody's partners come along, it's always a good crack.
yeah. The goss is quite intense.
Especially
don't-
if Sam Mendes is on the pitch.
Yes.
So Sam, when do you start the next Bond? Oh, you're not. Oh. Any other parts in the Lehman trilogy other than the 3? No? Oh, okay. Thank you.
I might be meeting Danny Boyle at the weekend. Not at all like in an acting capacity, just because I live in Folkestone and he's doing this incredible Remembrance Day. It'll probably be gone by the time this comes out. But on the beaches, people are gathering.
Oh, that's going to be
and
amazing.
They're making portraits of people who participated in the war, and then it's there as long as the tide's out, and then it goes.
Oh, amazing.
So he's doing a kind of an Olympic ceremony. I've got to say, lads, the Olympic opening ceremony is one of my favourite things
oh,
ever.
it's so incredible.
I've got it on DVD. I watched it the
Wow.
other day.
Yeah.
I like to watch it on my own of an afternoon if I'm on my own in the house, just for a weep.
Yeah.
Oh,
And to remember the joy of 2012 pre-bloody Brexit.
oh,
Yeah, wow.
yes.
It was another world then. You watch it and you think, oh my God.
The whole country loved it as well.
There was
It felt
hope,
very.
there was
it was-
unity, there was joy. It's really odd.
It actually felt quite. Oh, I don't want to sound like some sort of EDL member or something, but there was something lovely about a load of people going, actually, Britain's quite nice.
Yes,
But
What a
it
great
felt like
country.
that.
definitely.
Brunel, man, I've got a crush. I've got a massive crush on
One of my
Brunel.
friends was one of the many Isambard Kingdom Brunel type in the hats, and he said the day before they did the big dress rehearsal, and he was right at the front, and then he said that everyone started to realise, oh, if you're right at the front, then you're definitely going to get the cameras when they did the camera rehearsal.
Yeah.
So he said, so if you watch it again, you'll notice that all the Isambard Kingdom Brunel types just like suddenly start trying to rush through to be the one
Oh,
at
good.
the front. There's like a little herd of them
Good.
rushing to get the camera. Another friend of mine was one of the Berts, and just the sounds like the rehearsals were incredible
Oh,
and actually
extraordinary.
joyful rather than
Yeah. My friend stage
stressful.
managed it.
Really?
Yeah, my friend stage
my
managed
gosh,
it.
that's
big
cool.
old job.
She called it.
Is she a cool cucumber?
Oh, she's fabulous. Real
Gotta be,
Essex. Sheer Essex through and through. And
Most people who are stage management DSMs are always legends, aren't they?
God, she's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
legend.
Especially DSM.
Yeah.
But they're just
She-
amazing, aren't
Yeah.
they?
She's wonderful. She gets flown around the world to do
To
like
do
very
stuff like-
specific.
Probably for equity minimum, I'm sure.
So in company, do you get calls throughout the show, or do they just leave you? Do they trust that you're going to be on stage?
I
at the
never
right
go
time?
to the dressing room
No,
during the
we
whole
don't.
show. No.
It's only Patty really goes back. And the show's too technical for our DSM to do calls, unfortunately. She's got a couple she'll do. If people request it, she'll say, of course, and she tries to fit them in.
Yeah.
But the show's really technical. So
There's lots of costume changes actually.
yeah, so nobody goes
no
back to
one goes
I'm
back
on
to
the
their dressing
fourth
room.
Oh, wow.
floor, so I mean, I don't.
It's good for the glutes though, man. I'm on the third floor. I've noticed my cheeks have risen since doing company. Not joking, mate. The cheeks have risen.
I'll check out tonight when I see you do that quick
Good.
change.
Yeah.
So the company exercise regime with the glutes work and then 4 days of Stephen Sondheim inspired weight loss. It seems
Oh,
like
man.
it's pretty.
It's a great diet plan.
Yeah.
It's intense.
What
it's
were your
intense.
auditions for the show like?
Yeah, great question.
So
There's an audition.
no, of course I did. No, well, listen, very kindly, Marianne Elliott, our director, said I would love you to do the role of Sarah. So I was really bowled over. I thought that's amazing. So I went to meet for a coffee. We had a lovely frappuccino together.
And you knew the show already?
I'd seen it in '96 with Adrian Lester in the main role, and anyway, I had a lovely coffee, and I was thinking to myself, God, this is really going quite well. You know, I think this is in the bag. And then just as I was about to leave, hilarious, she said, just one thing, would love you to have a bit of a sing-song round the piano with Joel, our musical director, who's a very, very brilliant New York musical director, big sort of associate of Sondheim. And I thought, okay, here we go. This is the deal breaker. So I went to, is this a very boring anecdote?
No,
I
no,
love
it's
that
lovely.
kind of thing.
So I had to go to Joel's amazing Southwark penthouse suite. And he put me through 2 hours of very, very intense workout. So we did Have I Got a Guy for You, but only half a page of it for 2 hours. And we went through almost he's very, you know what he's like. He's incredibly,
Yeah. I mean,
he's
sometimes
very
it's-
analytical.
2 hours doesn't
2 hours.
sound like a bit of a sing-song.
No,
it's
exactly.
not.
I was in shreds when I left. So he goes, right, for the first couple of notes, I want you to be Doris Day. You're in front of a white picket fence and everything's rosy. That's great. Then I want you to go into Disney mode. You are, it was literally like that. It was so intense.
And then he adds on the musicality to that as well. Joel's all quite big on acting notes for his music direction, but he also is a real scientist with music
I love
as well.
that.
He's amazing.
Oh,
He's a
yeah.
Have you
real
worked with
good-
him before, Gavin?
No, I have not.
He's a
Lucy Todd.
wonderful.
And how is it when you have that kind of like scientific like attention to detail? Like, do you find that like the added pressure of that, and can you
Yeah.
get to a space where you can then still play with it, or do you feel like
I
really
think
tightly
Sondheim
constrained?
it depends on the song, but most of Sondheim is incredibly exact. It's not
Yeah.
like even singing Rodgers and Hammerstein. It's very particular,
Yeah.
particularly rhythms. Like I sing in a song which is in 6/4, which is really kind of tricky to sing against because you're kind of singing against what you think the tempo is.
Yeah.
So and you got to have you got to concentrate.
Have your wits about you.
Yeah.
Also, if you slightly cock up, then chances are you're going to muck up for somebody
Yeah,
else.
I mean,
That's
company,
the
the
thing.
open numbers
We're
is a
all
nightmare.
so reliant on each other, aren't
Yeah,
we?
yeah.
I love it when we're all singing together. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That is the biggest buzz.
And I guess what I'm driving towards is there a paradox then between the fact that you have that kind of rigor, but then your characters are kind of funny and playful and knockabout, and like do you find difficulty like doing this two things at once?
Well, Mel kind of alluded to earlier is that Marianne was very exacting with me and Mel because I think she knows that me and her can go to the moon and back, and she really has pushed us in a certain direction.
Yeah.
So we've tried to keep it very much in the parameters of where we've originally set it. And like, we got a note on Monday night that we were beginning to be a bit too snidey with each other over the scene, and we were like, really? We thought we were just being a bit more playful. But because it's the
What note
opening.
did you get last night after the
Hopefully there was nobody in last night, because we could be sacked if that's
a bit too penisy.
I've got to say, Rosie, our leading lady, was in pieces as well. It wasn't
Really?
it was total
At the end of my
meltdown.
song.
Dobber.
Yeah, the
Total
last
meltdown.
note I sing to her in Sorry Grateful, when she walks towards me, she was laughing, and I'm trying to hold this note, and I'm like,
She's a great girl, you know. She's got a lot of
She's a
pressure on her
legend,
shoulders.
Yeah.
You know, she is the show.
Yeah.
She's our leading lady. But she's such a good egg, and so sort of she's so up for having a laugh, actually. She was laughing all the way through last night after Brownygate. She's a great girl. She's a great girl.
And she's incredible as well, hasn't
Yes,
she?
she
She's
is.
absolutely
Yeah.
amazing in the role.
Yeah, she is, isn't she?
And I imagine she must feel not really a pressure, but she's carrying this kind of torch for doing it differently.
know.
And being the face of that campaign must have its
know.
pressures
Yeah,
as
and
well.
we should
I
maybe
know.
just clarify that anyone
Yeah.
listening who doesn't know much about this particular production of Company. So maybe you could tell us what is unusual about this production.
Well, so normally, historically, the main part, Bobby, has always been played by a man. But this is the first time ever, and I think it probably took a bit of persuading on Marianne Elliott's part. I think sometimes been asked in the past, put it that way, oh, would you ever consider having Bobby as a female? But he's never gone for it. But he loves Marianne and he loves her work, so he
went for it.
He went for it, yeah.
There's a couple of other characters that have changed gender, and they've also switched characters' lines around. So the husband's lines are now the wife's lines.
Yeah.
Were there any extra lines added in to make sense
Yeah.
of it? Because I'm a bit of a
Who
geek,
wrote
and I
them?
was
Who
going
wrote
through.
them? I don't even know.
No, it all came from George Firth's estate. So it all came from the writer's estate. So they went back to original. So the original
Some of the
production.
lines are so modern. You think that must be a new
Yeah,
line.
and he and Stephen, if there was something, he did change stuff. Like, so there's a
Yeah.
song, another 100 people get off the train.
Yes.
The lines
And he-
about texting you
Yeah,
later.
so he changed it to text.
And he did those, did he? I don't even know.
Oh, so everything has to go through SS.
Yeah. all the
Makes him sound like a
casting.
Nazi, doesn't it?
Really?
Yeah.
SS
It's a
shorthand,
bit-
but it's not.
Yeah.
And sorry, Mel, did you say all the casting went through Sondheim as well?
My days. Yeah.
Tapes go off.
Everything. So I was after blooming, the 2-hour sesh with
Doris
Joel.
Daygate.
Yeah, Doris Daygate. I was thinking, well, this isn't going to happen because it'll go off to,
Wow.
and he'll go,
What
you
were
know,
you
"Oh, I
wearing
don't
in-
know that broad. Who was that broad?
In
She's a
your,
bakery presenter.
In
I
your
don't know her."
video, what were you wearing that Stephen wouldn't recognise you after the show?
I don't even know that I was filmed. Maybe it was secret filming. Or maybe he didn't see film footage. What happened with your...
Oh, they
Tell us
filmed
about
me.
your audition,
Did they?
Gavin.
I think it became a bit of a sort of strange concert because Joel Fram just wanted me to sing everything I'd ever sung, it felt like. And I just kept...
Blimey.
He said, can you sing this now? And I'm like, have you not got enough now, Joel? So I sung the song from the show, and then he said, oh, could you sing that? And I was the last person in that day. And I'd worked with Marianne before, and I knew a few people on the panel. So it was quite nice and relaxed, but nothing's in the bag, is it? And, I
Did
just
he
kept
get you to
singing.
sing Tony from West Side Story?
No, he didn't. But you saw me do that.
Did you play Tony?
Don't sound so surprised, Mel.
That's one of my favourite... I mean, it's my favourite show ever, to be honest. That and Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, well, I was 17
You were
and had a
Tony.
six-pack, so, yeah.
Have you got footage?
I think I have at home.
Oh,
on
I'd
a VHS.
love to see
or my
that.
mum has. Watches it on loop.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I've got a
Oh my
photo of us that I
God.
keep sending to you every now and again from that time.
Were you at school together?
We
No.
weren't. It's quite... Go on, you explain. 'cause
No,
I-
you explain.
Well, I'm not sure I can remember it right, but I was playing Eliza in My Fair Lady, and you were playing Tony in West Side Story at sort of not rival schools, but
Oh, I thought it was like a composite show.
No, she
My
was
Fair
the
Lady meets...
basically. This one was the guy. She's the actress at Queensbury, and I was the actor at Man's Head.
Oh, great.
So we went to see each other, just sort of check each
Oh,
other.
I
out.
love that.
It didn't.
Love
It also helped that there was a girl at her school that had a
yeah, I was trying to remember
Hello.
Laura or Sarah or something.
Laura Clay.
You were trying to basically get to her. Is that what our friendship's about?
Yeah. Yeah.
She
You were
broke
the
my heart.
conduit.
Eh?
Did she?
Yeah,
Was she in the show as well? Was she in My Fair
I
Lady?
don't
she wasn't in My
remember.
Fair Lady.
No,
No,
but
I
I,
think
do
we'd split up by
remember having long phone conversations in the day when people telephoned.
Yeah.
And you just went, I hear you're very good in My Fair Lady.
Oh God! Did I?
Yeah, and then when we met up, it was really awkward because we'd just only spoken on the phone. So I remember once sitting with you back to back, just chatting like that because it was more like being on a phone.
Wow.
You don't remember any of this. I
I've
might be
got a
making it
terrible
up.
memory.
I remember
But
coming.
you came and sung at my brother's wedding because
Yeah.
we'd become quite good mates by then.
Yeah, and I remember sitting on your floor, your carpet, and getting fluff on my
Carpet burn.
tights.
No.
Yeah.
Fluff on the tights.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
What
Lovely
lovely
family.
memories.
It's great.
Happy
Since you were
days.
17.
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, I was trying to remember how we know each
don't
other, but
remember
we've
anything.
never actually sung together apart from your brother's wedding.
No.
Oh, well, maybe we can rectify that.
Yeah.
The only question I love to ask
Yeah, go on.
is what is the part you would love to play, even if it's a part that you would never be allowed to even be in the casting room for?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. Caiaphas in Jesus Christ Superstar. He is dangerous.
Oh, that's a great.
Caiaphas, man. Not Annas, Caiaphas. I once went dressed as Caiaphas to a fancy dress party. Drove through London in the Caiaphas outfit. You know, we remember in the film with the enormous...
hat? Yeah.
Did you have the
I
hat
made
through
one.
the sunroof?
Yes, I made an enormous thing, and with a big black cloak, and the I made it out of egg boxes. You know, he has that big sort of jewelled thing. I didn't go bare underneath because I just had a baby. It wouldn't have been good. Black polo neck, black leggings, massive bulbous onion hat, full beard. Drove through London, very proud. Benny was Annas,
You are brilliant.
Amazing.
but it was so fun. It was a Jesus Christ Superstar themed party.
It's like your
Hell
dream
yeah.
party.
Whose party was that? Who
My
has
mate
those kind of
Susie,
parties?
who's a clown, she is obsessed with Jesus Christ Superstar, as is her husband. Oh, it was brilliant. It was amazing.
It's one of my favourite styles that we get called in Showstopper.
Oh, JC,
so
yes.
you have to commit to it.
So each time you create the show,
Yeah.
do you get it on the theme of another musical, or can it be a sorry.
So we'll get from the audience a setting for the show. So it might be a football
Space,
stadium,
space.
space, all of that kind of stuff.
What was your
But
one from earlier? The opinions.
The opinion makers.
Yeah,
Opinion
it might be
market research.
the history of market research. Maybe next time we'll have a go at that. But then also during the show we'll get some people's favourite musicals and we'll do homages. So we'll improvise songs, but in the style of Jesus Christ Superstar or Legally Blonde or whatever people
Does
want that
Superstar come up a lot then?
night. So often. Yeah. And it's so much fun.
Not as much
So
as
much.
Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton is in
God.
pretty much every show at the moment.
Is it?
We haven't had the company trickle yet, have we? When a show's on, they kind of
Just start going, Bobby.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Done. Insert name of lead character here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And Gavin, what about you? Do you have a part that you would love to play that you might never be
Probably
allowed to?
not allowed to.
Or like,
yeah.
you would go in the casting room and they go, you can't, my dream is to be Fagin.
You'd be a great
brilliant.
fan.
I would be a great Fagin.
Fagin.
I think
I'm
it'll
waiting
happen.
for the time.
You'd be amazing.
Well, let's get that happening, Mel.
With all the gender switching going
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe it'll happen.
maybe it's going to happen.
I don't know actually.
Would you like to be in the new West Side Story film that's coming out with the new choreography and everything?
What?
No,
Did you
but
not know?
I had a conversation about the new Oliver film. There might be a new production of Oliver.
Can Pippa be Fagin?
Come on, get
And
me
can
in
I
that
be,
role.
Sykes.
What's his name?
Mr. Bumble, Mr. Bumble.
All right, okay, I'm not that far either.
Oh, who was
What
that?
about the little boy, the one that's not Oliver?
Dodger.
Dodger. You'd be
Never,
a
never.
great
I'd be a good
Dodger.
Dodger.
You'd be great.
Yeah, I'd like to play.
Jack
okay,
Wilde.
so the thing I'd never play is Alpha Dodger.
Great.
Well, yeah, you'd be
Yeah.
amazing
You'd
as
be an
Alpha
amazing
Dodger.
Dodger.
Perhaps
Oh,
it'll be
bless
like,
you
because
all.
they're making the Mary Poppins Strikes Back number two, aren't
Are
they?
they?
Perhaps it could be like that. What
I
happened?
got cut from the Mary Poppins film. I was offered a part. I couldn't do it. Yeah, I couldn't get it off the rehearsals. Never
Lads,
mind.
I haven't heard about the West Side Story.
I didn't just
film,
make
it's a
that
new
up, did
film.
I?
No, and you know who's directing it?
Who?
Steven Spielberg.
And who's playing
I don't know why I said
the
his voice like that.
E.T.
Turpin Spielberg.
Just showing your range.
Yeah, I think
can
Tom
say
Hanks is
hi
playing
to-
Maria.
Steven Spielberg. Oh, Gavin. Cast him.
Who is Maria though?
I
Seriously?
don't know who the
They haven't
do we know
cast
who
it
the
yet.
cast
Oh,
is?
it's
not
only Lady
cast.
Keira Knightley, is it? No.
All
don't worry.
right, she's a
Okay.
big fan of yours.
Well, I'm sure she's lovely, but
But we
Don't
don't
know,
want to see
actually.
her as Maria. That's fair.
Natalie
That's
Portman. No.
No, it's got to be somebody young, isn't it? It's got to
Lady
be like
Gaga, surely.
you
I'm
need
slightly obsessed
unknown
with
young people. Young, they're meant to be like 18.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what I
Anita, can you imagine playing that? Would be
Oh,
so
yeah.
fun. A boy like that. Kill your brother.
I think Oliver would be more fun though, because that'd be all filmed in London.
Oh,
It would be
and you
great.
get to wear those big dresses and the
Yeah.
crowns and the hats, and you do get to
Yeah.
Papa. That's what I mean. What's fantastic. That
And if I
song.
got offered
Oh,
Bumble, I'd end up just doing a Harry Seacombe impersonation.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what,
I love
guys?
seeing that.
I think we've done enough talking.
Sing
It's
song.
time to do some singing.
Would you guys be up for making up a song with us?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Mel's all the way.
Yeah.
Gavin has not said anything yet.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done any improvising before?
I'm going to sound like a
Bits and
dickhead
bobs.
now.
Bits and
I
bobs.
bet
Please
you've
do.
done loads.
Little bits and bobs. Nothing.
I lived in America for quite a while and I wasn't allowed to work. So I ended up, my wife said, I've bought you a little treat. There's a thing called the Second City. And I was like, yeah, the show. And she said, there's one in Vegas. I went, yeah, no, I'm going next week. She went, well, I've bought you their course. I was like, oh, wow. So I did 3 courses of improv with the Second City.
They should
With loads of the cast.
They're the Chicago.
Yeah,
Based.
but they've
They're
got like one in LA,
extraordinary.
one in
Yeah.
Chicago. I think there was one in New York then. Anyway, so I did all these courses and it was amazing. And at the time, I thought, I'm getting quite good at this improv. But now I would be awful because I really think improv, you've got to keep it up. It feels like a muscle.
A skill.
It really does.
Yeah.
It does, but sometimes the fear of doing it is worse than when you're.
Hence
actually
why I've
stuck.
not said anything this morning. I've gone, okay.
Well, we promised to look after you, Gavin.
Oh
Promise.
God, she says that with dead eyes. They rolled over shark like a shark.
Yeah, that was a little sort of Stephen Sondheim enigmatic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am the Stephen Sondheim of Showstopper.
Well, yeah. That's terrifying.
No, you're not.
Mel, what style would you like this song to be in?
Well, if it's all right with the gang, it's got to be Jesus Christ Superstar, hasn't it?
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Jesus Christ Superstar, you're a swimming team.
Great.
Goggles on and we're going in. We're gonna swim today together.
With lots of lycra, some tights and some bras. They're just so tight I can't feel my balls.
One thing to do about my nose clip. I'd keep it in a special box, but someone's taken it. I need my nose clip.
Everybody swim, let's jump in. 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 Everybody swim.
He is the best of us all. This swimmer, he's deeper than all.
I'd like to judge this contest and see everybody has done real well.
What if he were to drown? What would we do then? I don't know, but everybody get down.
Swim, swim, everybody jump in.
Let's
Swim,
do it,
swim,
the
everybody
breaststroke.
jump in. Swim, swim, everybody jump in. Yeah. Swim, everybody jump in. Swim, swim, everybody jump in. Yeah. Swim, swim, everybody jump in. Swim, swim, everybody jump in. Swim, swim, everybody jump in.
Oh, that was just a lovely chat, wasn't it?
Aren't they both such wonderful people?
I mean, we thought they'd be nice and interesting, and they were nice and interesting.
You know, I tell you what, people, like we've only done 3 episodes, but we've got some pretty amazing people. Like everyone turns out to be really nice.
Really nice, Andrew. I mean, I like to think it's because we attract really nice people, or maybe all people who work in the West End are delightful.
Yeah, I think famously, anyone who works in show business whatsoever is just lovely to everyone.
I believe that's the true story. Well, that was a great episode. I hope you enjoyed it, listeners. And if you did enjoy it, we'd love it if you gave us a little 5-star rating.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Pippa, but I listen to so many podcasts where people say, please give us a 5-star rating, and then I never do.
Yes.
But actually, now that we're on the other side of it, like it's so helpful if you do.
Oh, it really is very helpful, and also not just for our egos, but to get the
Mainly for
podcast
that.
out. Mainly for our ego. We're very fragile. We are recording in a basement. We would love it if you would allow us to have 5 stars to get us up into the sunshine.
Yeah, and that can be on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Absolutely, or maybe even leave a little review. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
And also, you can tell us what you think about anything. You can get in touch with us on Twitter, and that's @TheShowstoppers.
You could get in touch with us on Instagram, which is @ShowstopperMusical.
Or search for us on Facebook or look at our website,
Yeah.
which Pippa can remember from the intro, which is...
theshowstoppers.org.
That's right.
I visit it all the time. But also, if you've got any suggestions like who you'd love to come on the podcast, who you'd love to see us interviewing, we would absolutely love to hear from you. So do get in touch.
Fantastic. See you later next time.
See you later next time. Bye.
Bye.